Okay, so we're back in Photoshop again, part 2. I want to add some text. I want to call my restaurant Big Sammy's. So I go to the text tool, the T, click anywhere in my background area. You see in your layers palette, it has made a new layer for you. So I'm just going to type in Big Sammy's. It looks like nothing's there. It's tracked out, you can tell. So I'm going to wipe over the text, go up to tracking, put in 0. You should have no tracking. There we go. From there, I want to make the text a color. So you can set the color up here. For me, that's the easiest way to do it. I want to make it kind of a nice whole wheat colored brown. There we go. Say OK. If I click away from the text, it made it brown. If I want to move the text, I am on the background, right? So I have to be on my text layer to move it. I'm going to move it up. If you don't like the color, just go back and change it. Go to your text tool. I wipe over it. Go back up to my color, adjust it. It looks, I don't know, a little dark or something, so that's nice. Okay, that's better. Deselect it. Okay, and you see it has named the text layer for me. Maybe I want to change the typeface because it just doesn't look very friendly, does it? So I triple click or select, wipe over it. You're in the text tool. You can change the typeface in your character palette. If it's not open, go under Window and Open Character right there. But it is open, so it has to be kind of a friendly looking typeface. Kind of look through some of the text here. What do I like? Maybe sort of a, I don't know, a rounded typeface or whatever. I'm just going to sort of randomly pick a typeface so as not to take too much time. It looks kind of skinny there. I don't like that typeface either. So you can go back and select a different typeface. I know I don't like this typeface, but I don't care. Oh, I do care. I'm sorry. It is just too hideous. Bookman's a pretty decent typeface, so that we'll leave it at that. I can make it bold. Right now it's light. Let's go for bold. Alright, that looks pretty good. I deselect it. Looks good. So now I have 3 layers. I want to make another text layer. So I go to the text tool and click again. It's going to give me another layer now, right here. So the stacking order you have to be conscious of. If this background is in front of layer 1, you won't see layer 1. So I'm going to type in meatball sandwich. Meatball Sammy, how's that? I don't want it to compete with the name of the restaurant, so I'm going to give it a different typeface or type weight or differentiate it somehow, even a different size. Maybe 18 point. Not bold, maybe a medium. Maybe a different color, maybe kind of a reddish color. Not quite dark enough. About that, okay. So that's a meatball Sammy. I still think the typeface is too close to the name of the restaurant, so I'm going to change it to a sans serif, a typeface without the little legs on it, as they call them. I'd have to scroll a little bit. I don't want a really extended typeface. I don't want a really fancy or fun, overly fun typeface. Kind of just something nice and simple, like avant-garde. Okay. Still looks pretty big, 18 point. I'm going to lower that to 14 point. Okay, So now I can go back and adjust color, size at any time. On the same text layer, the cursor's blinking after the E in Sammy. I'm going to hit return. That will allow me to add paragraph space if I want to. I'm going to add a description of what the sandwich is. Like, I don't know, delicious. Extravaganza? I'm making this up. Ooh. Okay. Delicious extravaganza of 3. But I can't read it because I have to do some line breaks in here. So I select my move tool. I'm going to move it onto the page. I think that would look really bad to have the type description be the same size as the name of the sandwich. So if I highlight the description of the type, make it smaller, 12 point, accidentally clicked on 14, 12. I'm going to make the description black instead of brown. So if I go up under the color, go somewhere down near black, okay. So I'm going to make it a 2-column format. I still think 12 point is too big. 12 point type is good for people who might have a little bit of a hard time seeing, like myself, but I'm going to make it 10 point because it just is smaller and looks nicer right now. So a delicious extravaganza. I'm going to click for the word made, hold down shift, hit return. That allows for line spacing as opposed to paragraph spacing. I want to keep all my lines somewhere in the same length, and I want to have like really long lines and really short lines. So I think that looks pretty decent. What is the leading? Let's check it out. If I select the description, it's 10 point on auto leading. I don't really know what auto is. I'll put it 10 on 14, so it gives it 4 extra points of space in between the base lines. Kind of looks like a lot of space, so I'm going to adjust the leading to 10 on 12. That's what they say, 10 on 12, 10 point type on 12 point leading. Now I want to add the price. I want to hit shift. I want to hit return. That's going to allow for paragraph spacing. I'm going to say it's $12, so 12. There we go. I want the price to stand out a little bit. I don't want it to stand out too much and make it look super expensive, but maybe I'll make it bold. I don't have a bold in this typeface, so I guess maybe I'll use a different typeface. How about, it's still the same typeface, it's just a bold, so we'll go Demi. There you go. Maybe I want to make the price brown. If I want it the same brown as Big Sammy's, if I go to the eyedropper tool and I click inside the B, it will put that color in my color palette right here that I selected. And then it wants to initialize the type tool for some reason. My computer is just so sluggish. So I apologize for the delay. But the idea is if you hit return, you can put paragraph spacing in. You can get more space between the headline, which is the Meatball Sammy, and the body copy, which is the description. So I want to make the 12 brown. So I go to my text tool, I wipe over the brown, the 12. I don't know if this will work because my computer's being so finicky, but we'll try it. Okay, I clicked on my foreground square down here, brought up this dialog box, I say okay. And I deselect it, and it should have made the 12 brown, and it did. So I have some decisions to make at this point, but what I'm gonna do is add another category. So you see I still have just one text layer here in addition to Big Sammy's. So if I click after the 12,